Hey guys, Lethal here with another video. This one's a little different. I'm just doing a voiceover of some gameplay. So as you guys know, BlizzCon was today and they had the release, not the release, I'm sorry, the announcement for the new expansion. So I'm just gonna give you guys some information about that. Alright, so basically it's gonna be called Battle for Azeroth. Level cap's gonna go up as usual. It's gonna go up to level 120. They will keep that level scaling thing. Where like if you're in a zone at 100, all the mobs are 100, but if you go back at 110, then the mobs are 110. So that thing is gonna stay in there. So the big thing that everybody was thinking they were gonna do, there will be an ability to play sub races such as the Dark Iron Dwarves, High Mountain Tauren, Void Elves, and there'll be several other variations on currently existing World of Warcraft races. So it's not gonna be like where you just create a character and you play them. So the way it's gonna be is you're gonna have to unlock them, which we don't know how that's gonna work. And then once you unlock that race, or sub-race I should say, then you'll be able to create a new character from level 1 and level him to 120.
I'm out of room.
Also, artifacts are going away. So one of the developers said, I'm gonna read a quote. I don't want to spoil specifically what's going to happen, but yes, your artifact weapon will not continue on in its current form. We know that they need to go out with a bang, so to speak. These are some of the most powerful, iconic weapons in the world, and we can't just have you replace them with a random plank with a nail in it. So, who knows what that means exactly, but I just can't wait to see what they come up with, because obviously what they're saying is it's going to be better than artifact weapons. So, but they are bringing a system that's similar to the artifact weapon, that how we level it up with artifact power and stuff. And it's the system's gonna be called the Heart of Azeroth, and it's gonna be like a legendary necklace, and it will allow you'll be able to use a new resource. It's gonna be called Azorite, and you'll be able to imbue your armor with new powers and traits, extremely similar to the artifact weapon. Okay, so now this new expansion is gonna bring the game back to like its original roots, focusing on the war between the Alliance and the Horde. So now the Horde and the Alliance will be leveling up almost kind of separately in their own zones. So the Horde players are gonna be going to 3 new zones, which make up the islands of Zandalar. And Alliance players will also have 3 new zones set in the island called Taras. So in those new zones, that's where you'll be able to recruit the new sub races and be able to play them for yourselves. So now they're not saying when the launch date will happen, but if you look at history, all expansions last about 18 to 24 months, which would put the release sometime in the middle of next year. Okay, and there's going to be 2 new types of content that come with the new expansion, called Warfronts and Islands. They're both going to be like mostly endgame content, and there's something like in addition to dungeons and raids and all that stuff. So islands are going to be similar to scenarios in Mist of Pandaria, and but they're a little different, because each time you enter an island, the land is going to be the same, but different stuff can take place. So like they say is you know, the island might be overcome by a bunch of hostile trolls, and the next time you come there could be an ancient curse and the undead are rising from the ground. So there's a whole bunch of different things, unlimited, that can happen there. And now whatever's going on in the island, like Horde players will encounter AI Alliance players, and vice versa for the Alliance. They'll, you know, see Horde AIs. So it is still PvE, the islands, but the AI is better than it's ever been before. Okay, like they'll do such things such as scouring the island or even completing objectives. So it's just insane. the amount of advancement they foresee these AIs having. So now, um, there'll also be a PvP version for the islands. It's going to be a new version called PvPvE. They say there'll be nearly infinite exploration. So I think that's really cool, and I think that it'll just help players not get bored of the game and keep having new things to do. So now, the other mode, Warfronts, it's going to be more where it uses like the older land masses of the game. So now, Warfronts it's PvE. There'll be a group of 20 players who team up and they establish bases in like important strategic points in the world. And players will go up against the advanced AI. They'll need to build up a base, send out troops to do missions and stuff, and even expand like a tech tree. So it's basically like a miniature version of what the vanilla players might remember as the original Warcraft strategy games. So I'm sure there'll be loads of like veteran players excited about that, who like can remember all that old stuff. Like me personally, I've started playing at the end of Kata, so I don't remember that. So now the first Warfront expansion, the first Warfront in the expansion, it'll take place in the Arathi Highlands. So the reason it's there for that one is because it has coastal access and it's a great jumping off point. So this is what the developer just said. And if the Horde can secure it, they can push back to try and reclaim the Undercity. So now, the reason I say if they can reclaim the Undercity, because at the beginning of the expansion pack, the Alliance actually captured the Undercity, and the Horde burned the Great Tree of Tedrasil. That's like the home of the Night Elves. So these two moves, essentially, they made a split. So Kalimdor is basically just going to be all Horde, and the Eastern Kingdoms is going to be all Alliance. So they're really bringing back this old hardcore Horde versus Alliance thing, which I think is great, to bring the game back to like where it once was, because we were straying so far. So just to go over the 3 zones, and then there'll also be Zandalar, which will be like a jungle setting. And the 3 zones of Zandalar, there'll be like dinosaurs. One zone will have swamplands, and the other zone will even have like a massive desert. So I'm just gonna wrap this up now. So basically, there's gonna be 2 parts for the Battle of Azeroth. So the Horde and Alliance are going at it again, fighting for control of Azeroth. But there's also like a lot of stuff that's from the aftermath of the Legion's onslaught. So like the world's literally dying beneath their feet. So anyways, guys, that's like the summary of most of the information we've gotten from BlizzCon and the new expansion pack Battle of Azeroth. As more information comes out, I'll release it as soon as I can. Otherwise, you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching. If this video gave you any information you liked or you just enjoyed the gameplay, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe for more content. Thank you.